the world.
What is up, my dudes? What's the plan? You get home, you're bored of fish!
Name is Reginald, by the way.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I want to know what happens if we feed the ellipid brain to the fish.
Nope, the ellipid brain is off limits. Keeping the ellipid brain for
I know.
Sorry.
You immediately, you just get the fish home and you're like, oh, how could we experiment with the fish?
Just slowly introduce the void mixture to the water over time.
I want him to eventually be able to see into people's souls, but I want him to be able to do it because he's already clearly quite good at it.
How do you know he can't already?
That's my point. I think he already can see into your soul in a
Oh,
mundane
you know what we could do? I cast tech thoughts on the fish.
Yes, you can.
Turns out it's
Yep.
an ellipid waiting to pop.
That's what I'm gonna do.
Fucking mind hawk, that would be hilarious.
What is,
Reginald,
what is the fish thinking?
Reginald the koi fish is staring at Rakath and thinking about Rakath.
The fish loves you.
Yeah, let's go with that.
Did you do sense emotion? Like your sensory of emotion, or are you just looking at the thought itself?
Just a thought. I go deep.
I'm gonna roll an insight check on this fish.
She had
Roll a
the
5.
oh, the fish rolls a 5. Okay, used a portent on a fish.
I rolled a 4 on this insight check. So,
Reginald the koi fish is suspicious of Rakath. There's like a there is this kind of like there's suspicion. It's the best way of wording it. He's not like just looking at Rakath because it's a fish and it's just looking at something. It's looking at Rakath. It follows Rakath around the room. It's Rakath.
A
Fascinated
little
by
bit
him.
suspicious of you. I still think it likes you.
I don't think it likes me. By the way, I'd like to name it Reginald.
Would I have gotten the name from the thought, or?
Oh yeah, the fish does
doing-
not have a. The fish is not thinking its name right now, and it probably doesn't have one. So I guess it's Reginald now.
All right. I'll just feed it a little bit.
Just feed it a little. Okay.
Yeah, give it a little bit of food.
What food do fish eat?
Did I get fish food?
No, you got fish and tank.
A tank.
Honestly, 500 gold for a big fish in a tank is real good.
can I do just like any? I'm assuming it would be like a nature check. to
Nature
discern
check? Yeah,
What fish eat?
yeah.
We're gonna kill our fish.
Yeah, that's a. Well, no. Luckily, no. I don't know.
You're right. I was like, they don't have to eat. They're just it's a fish.
They just consume the water, correct?
No, they have to eat.
Oh,
So, what do they eat, Ollie?
Oh, I mean, realistically, bugs would probably be the best answer. Little bugs. That would be something that you could get quite easily in this city and
I'm
feed
going
to
to
them.
pick up a cricket from the floor of the dungeon. Because there are
Cricket.
many.
Cockroach.
Cockroach. I don't know.
You call them crickets to make it sound nicer.
Did you see my nature check? I don't know the difference between a cockroach and a cricket.
No,
And
if we had cockroaches, that would be gross and horrible. I have crickets. It's
These are
different.
crickets. Very different.
Hey, I'm gonna put the cricket into the fish tank.
It struggles and eventually stops struggling and floats down, and it kind of bounces off Reginald's face, and then home.
Well, that was successful.
You keep
Alright.
staring.
Staring at.
Oh yeah, I
Exciting.
know. I like that. This whole party just staring around the fish tank.
I am going to do something.
Oh.
No, I'm not. I've changed my mind. I've changed my mind. I was going to do something, and I just realized it was very.
Don't
mean.
do anything to the fish.
What's its charisma modifier?
You don't know. You don't know.
Hold on.
I have another portent, so you can make it fail.
Never mind, I need its wisdom. But anyways, no, I'm not gonna do that right now. It's fine. Everything's fine. I'm not gonna incite fear in a fish using my evil eye.
Oh,
Aw,
give
fishy.
it a heart attack.
I'm gonna do it. I'm not that mean. I don't kill things without purpose.
I'm gonna sense emotions, the fish.
The fish is trepidatious.
Ooh, good word.
Hmm. All right.
And fed.
Just needs time to adjust.
Yes, well. I'm still wearing the bone cherub mask. I'm gonna take off the bone cherub mask, and that probably is gonna make it even more scared of me.
It doesn't react in any way.
Okay, good. So it's not confused. Good. Good.
I think he likes you.
I think you are incorrect, but
Ross
I
is
will.
gonna come back and find out you bought a fish. Just saying. That's a conversation. That's
Isn't
not
it
gonna be had.
wonderful?
He's just gonna be like, ah. Okay.
I'll introduce Nero to the fish. That he knows to feed it. Because we're not doing that.
Why do I have to feed the fish?
Apparently, it doesn't just eat water.
Alyssa cleans the dungeons. Alyssa can feed the fish. I'm
Okay, let's look at
doing
the fish.
paperwork and
You know, Nero.
I just wanted to introduce you to the fish. It's a nice fish.
You don't
I
like.
can't disagree with that.
I know you don't like the dungeon. I think you don't like me either, and it hurts me deeply that is the case. But
Rakath,
don't like Rakath?
I am a simple slave. It's not my place to like you or not like you.
I want you to like me, and I don't think you do. I think you're frightened of me. That's all. I just wanted to say that out loud. I needed to get that off my chest. But if you ever would like to come down and have a conversation, please feel free to.
I will do that when I am checking the budget.
Good.
Because that's
I
my
don't-
job now.
I don't cost much.
It's a really nice job.
He goes upstairs.
I don't know what to do about that.
I think he may have loved you more than you loved him.
That's not possible.
I would beg to differ. That boy has a very large heart. You know, I met someone recently who's very interested in hearts.
Oh?
Yes, she's an enchanter. She takes blood. I think she might have been speaking literally, though, so we probably don't want to introduce her to Nero, because he does have kind of an exceptionally large heart. Probably medically as well. I actually wouldn't mind doing an inspection of him for that. It could potentially lead to things like heart attacks, or strokes, or potential brain damage in the future if he doesn't have those taken care of a little bit. I worry for his heart health. He should be eating a high-fiber diet with low cholesterol. Anyways.
I think Nero's gonna be fine. He's gonna realize this is a good thing for him. I
Is
think for
it?
everyone. It is.
Are you sure he wants to be doing the work of the house?
Mm. I didn't ask.
Rather be doing you.
Well, we can still do that.
Yes, but I think he would like to marry you, which I know is not possible. I
Right.
understand the societal reasons why,
Mhm.
but that doesn't mean that the boy with the big heart doesn't dream.
But we can legitimize him as a concubine. It'll be fine. It'll be good.
I don't think he'll see it that way.
Well, I don't know what to do about that.
I'm mostly just speaking. You can take it or leave it. I don't really have any vested interest whatsoever.
Why don't you convince him of it? You're good at that.
Am I? Based on my most recent experience of convincing someone about the woes of the heart, I don't think I am.
No, which one was that?
Oh my god. Just check that she can still see.
Well, anyways, I'm going to go to the Torturer's Tavern. Would you like to come? Or would you like...
Sure.
I'm going to go and try and create that guild.
Oh, you know what? It might be. I can go if you'd like me to.
I think that they would like to celebrate you a little bit, because I may have announced that you were engaged when I was down there last.
Oh, fun! Awesome.
I want to do a toast for you.
I'm gonna pick up Brophy while he's tinkering with stuff. Like, we're gonna go.
You've been having this conversation about like emotions and things, and he's zoned 100% out, and you're just like, "We're going now. Come on."
Okay.
Alrighty.
He's like, he'll, like as you pick up, he's hitting something, and then he's just, wait, no. Where are we going?
The tavern!
You head down to the Torturer's Tavern. You can hear the cheering noise outside of it as you enter. 4 strong individuals of corpse carriers and executioners are having an arm wrestling square. Like both arms. It's
very efficient.
Yes, it's
terrible choices.
It's incredibly goofy, and that's why everyone's kind of enjoying it, because that's kind of people here have a sense of humor because they they work in such dark comedy. They work in such dark careers, but they have a sense of humor more than most drow. There is also quite clearly a noble child bard sitting at the bar, listening to people's stories, which means he's actually talking more than he is listening. Strumming a lute. Those are the things of note. It's pretty busy, you're going in at the end of the cycle, so it's getting a bit busy.
Hello, everybody!
Ragav!
Hey, pull out the mug out of nowhere again. Hey!
I brought Yuna! She's engaged!
Muzzle tough!
And, go up to the bar and I put down 10 gold pieces and I just say,
Cheap ale for everybody in here.
Hey, good one, Ragath! And like the dark ale that's just watered down and yet still incredibly dark is poured into several cups, and some are slid across the table to other people, things like that. The music plays. Everyone's got a good smile on their face in this group of torturers and executioners.
Oh, no, he's drunk again.
And surprisingly, Rofi is drunk right away. I'm going to look for Roger and Ando if they're in the tavern.
Ando is in. Roger, you ask, he is in the bathroom.
Again.
I know, right? Yeah.
Probably asleep in there.
He does that.
Yes.
It's because he's human.
I think
And
sleeping
humans need to sleep, Raka.
I've been told that. So, do you remember when we last spoke, Ando?
I remember every time we've spoke.
Oh, but not that time where we talked about the very particulars of that particular situation, correct?
No, because we made a deal.
Yes, good, excellent. Well, the last time we spoke, you mentioned that some people were perhaps interested in seeing perhaps a guild created.
You posited the idea, Akath. You're
I
not the
don't-
first to suggest that we all band together, but the first to suggest it with a quill, not a crossbow.
Yes. Well, I may have had some success in that. Which means we would need to find a certain level of standardization for pay and for jobs and for all of the amenities and everything.
I'm sure that could be done. We would have to put official markings on what is part of our guild. Torturers, corpse carriers, grave diggers. Roger comes out of the bathroom with a flushing sound. Executioners. What else?
Downtrodden enchanters, perhaps, as well.
That might be quite hard to put into legal terms.
I think I can manage it. Dabblers of the black magics.
That might put us in a disagreeable position with the church.
It could. But it could not as well, because if we keep those in check who do that.
Keep it controlled. We would need to have someone quite knowledgeable on the occult. That is the word you'd want to be using. The occult.
It is. Yes. But we'd have to keep quite a limit on the services that were provided, of course. Though to not step on the church.
Yes. Absolutely. It would be the church we would have to worry most about. They have their own executioners who have quite high standing. They have their own torturers who have quite high standing. Maybe
yet
it's because they turn into giant spiders.
That would be why they stand so tall. Yes. Well, I will get started on some of the paperwork, but I want you to spread the word. I am working on it. Those who are interested should sign this.
And I take out a piece of whatever I would be using for parchment that is
Yeah,
probably actual parchment. I
Drow
hand it to-
paper.
Drow paper.
Where's it come from? Don't ask! It's skin.
Eat a fish. So no, I would give it to him, and I would just say,
The name, the business, the location of work.
I will pass it around. And he signs.
And I have another question for you. Something of a...
2 questions in 1 visit. How
Aye.
lucky am I?
Well, you always flatter me, Ando. I am wondering if you have had any experience with those mind hawk beasts that the Ebamari are related to. The brains with the beaks.
I have handled a surprising amount of people who have had their brains consumed, but I have never dealt. There is someone else who deals with the collection of monster corpses and owls and such. Vermin.
Right. I should speak with them as well.
There's someone around here who does that.
Excellent. I am looking for a supply of their corpses. So, it's a personal project, you might say.
I am sure.
Yes.
you may be able to add scientist to this petition.
Quite possibly. I think we need to rename everything as well because, I mean, torturer, no good. Information acquisition specialist is what I've been using.
And I'm going to show one of my cards to Ando. Say.
I've done a bit of a rebranding.
How would you rebrand me in my corpse card?
Ooh.
It's an
Now that's
easy one.
You think?
Well, as
What do
in, there's many like me. You'll need to have a term for it.
I think we want to go with something along the lines of a transport specialist, but we'll need to have a particular notarization on the front end of that. I'll need to think on that, but let me get back to you.
Rakath,
Yes.
is it true that you and the fine lady here and the boy your house has quite high standing in who you talk to?
At times.
It means that some of the careers you're talking about, the occult, may be able to be legal within the confines of the guild. People who do jobs that are of a surface to people who need it. Fortune tellers, necromancers, chiropractors.
They are particularly interesting.
Very dark arts.
What magic holds in their hands, I do not know. But, and have you heard
Don't
about-
forget executioners.
Don't worry,
There's a-
executors are on. But, and do you remember that one lady who said she was a physiotherapist? That was
And the psychiatrist.
Oh yes. Oh, they hanged them so quickly. Which
But you can, under the mark of your guild, you can take these people and you can give them professions, which will only be better for the city because all the money will flow through the guild into the city, into the hands of the people who want the money, and we just want to live.
Yes.
It's quite a good idea if everything goes well.
If everything goes well, yes. I have high hopes.
Okay.
Some successful conversations. For now, I'm gauging interest and developing standards. Once I know which professions are interested, we will develop the standards for practice for those particular professions. Fields, if you will.
Start somewhere and expand out.
Precisely.
I didn't start out, in all the districts. I just took bodies from one particular club. I was amassing quite a lot of bodies, and I grew my profession from there, as is sensible to do.
Precisely. And I look forward to the day when we have all of this legitimized.
He will get up with the petition and start talking to others.
Before you go, Ando, is the person here who deals with the monster bodies?
Kind of looks around the room. He's like, yeah, vermin collector. And points over to them.
I think we need another name for them as well. But I agree. Perhaps pest control.
Interestingly, they're a dwarf. They're a deep dwarf. They are currently salving a big hairy arm that has scratch marks on it. It's kind of mesmerizing, the thick dwarven body hair and the salve and the way it kind of swirls back and forth.
Hello. My name is Rakath.
Hi! My name is Ironmark.
Ironmark. It's nice to meet you. I hear you deal in pest control.
I do my best to control the pests.
Ah, now that's a slogan. We'll put that on the side of a cart.
I suppose it is. And we'll take out from a piece of a bag a small piece of stone and start chiseling that in Dwarven.
I like it.
I have a question for you.
They will start picking at their teeth with the chisel.
Do you have any bodies of mind hawks, the big brains with the beaks and the tendrils that go?
Oh. I've dealt with them.
Do you have them regularly, or is there a spot where
We
you
might
regular-
have. I might have some in. I have a transitional space. I call it the hole. There might be
Ooh.
one in the hole.
Okay.
Would
I
you like to look in my hole?
I would very much like to look in your hole. Thank you for asking.
Well, let's go then. And
All right, thank
finishes
you.
off the drink, and she hops up.
I'm gonna drag a very drunk Rofi onto my shoulder.
What? Okay.
Don't puke.
No promises.
It's actually not very far away. It's actually in an area which is clearly used for storage. This would be like if you had something big and you wanted to hide it away. This is basically one of those places like, yeah, we just want to buy like a little plot and you put the fish in it. You know, she'll unlock this metal gate, and there's just a smell of death that doesn't pass out. Because of the, you know, the way this has been designed properly, and you know, there's some garlic hanging and some minor enchantments and things like that. The kind of thing where the you know, the occult and the magic is blended and stuff like that. And it's basically just loosely organized piles of bodies. There's a lot of rats. There's some cats, owls, very big vermin, big bugs, and then because it's the Underdark, bigger creatures. Right.
So, what I'm looking for specifically, just so you're aware, is creatures and beings that may have a connection to the void. Things that I could distill down to create more of this void crystal to continue my research.
Okay. Give me a medicine check.
Medicine.
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 Do I have advantage from knowing these creatures in the past?
No, not yet.
Okay. Because I have been rolling terribly tonight. But that's not bad.
18
That's
is
an
good
18.
enough.
That's
You do. You're starting to become aware that sometimes something can be infused with such stuff and is not always completely different. But in some cases, it is. You know, you will pick up and this will be the case of like minor creatures. Like, it's kind of like a rat, but it has a squid face.
Right.
You know, things like that. Things that are just voidy enough and super gross.
Yeah. A little bit of slime is really what I'm looking for.
Yeah, and because they're not all in one pile, because they're just like, well, this is thrown in with the rats, this is thrown in with the bats, you know. But you managed to pluck through, and you probably theorized that some of these are just like, these aren't a race of creature. This is just maybe mutation, something like that. But you could, you know, you get an armful of
Cool.
void stuff.
Is there a Mindhawk body in here?
No, but there's like some stray tentacles. It's like, oh
Okay,
yeah,
I'll
they
fi-
were stuck in a tree, and had to hook them down, and
And do you mind me taking these?
you'll have to sign something.
I don't mind signing anything. That's not a problem.
Well,
Do we do it in stone, or do we
this
do it
is
in...
going to the gods, so it has to be in paper.
Right, all
It's
right.
fragile and fallible, but has to be in paper.
Well, I can't win
We'll
them
give you
all.
the thing to sign. You got your arm full of stuff. And you're like,
All right.
and
Excellent.
you can leave with your stuff.
Thank you. I'll be back. If you find any more void creatures, I would like them. Thank you. They look like these monstrosities. Tentacles usually.
You have to come back with a diagram, love.
Of course. but I will let you know. And if you happen to see any that might fit the bill, please feel free to let me know. I'm always
Exposed
happy.
brain parts, are usually the key giveaway.
Yes, they have like the little squiggly bits that tend to extrude.
I'm assuming one of the rats has like a little bit of exposed.
Yes, some of
brain.
the rats do have exposed brains.
I'm gonna show that as like
Like this.
Pickles.
Yeah. Anyways, thank you.
I'm gonna dump them into one of the because I still have sacks that can contain.
Yeah, you got sacks. You can have
I think I've got
a sack
another
of void vermin, right?
Well, it can carry up to 75 gold pieces worth of stuff in the sack, so I feel like this is probably maybe like under that. Probably. Yeah. Well, I'm immediately gonna throw this into my void barrel.
I'm gonna brew it up.
Brew it up. Yeah.
Give me a brewer's check for that. I know it's not gonna happen immediately, but
Yeah. 14. That's okay.
You know what? Speaking of brewing, also, how is my little crystal growing experiment been going?
Oh yeah.
I haven't checked on it.
so your crystals have grown, but there's no magic in them. So you are growing a little bit of crystal, like that science fair test. It's weird quality and not good enough even for magic, really. But it's interesting. But growing aether crystal doesn't make aether crystal.
Make them right, exactly. But I'm gonna try to push magic into it.
Yes. Give me an Arcana checkaroni. Yeah, it stores magic okay. What you would know, especially as you started to enchant, is that the best... it depends on the type of magic you're trying to store. On average, the best is quartz. And you actually posited before that aether crystal is a type of quartz.
Right.
But even then, it's not best in that catch-all kind of way. It's very good for that kind of untempered arcane magic, and when you do kind of in that very sorcery way try to just unbind, you can kind of store it, but that's not something you could do all the time.
Right.
You're just not that kind of spellcaster. It probably would make you feel a little unwell doing it, But it can, if you needed it to, store magic. The issue is it would still be volatile. Unlike, quartzes and your soul gems, where you could drop a soul gem, even if it cracked, nothing would happen, right? Because of the properties of the gem. If you smashed one in half, who knows what would happen? But, right, if you had magic in quartz, which you would have done, like, tests in when you're younger, because that's what drow children would do in their science class. You can like chip a bit off and nothing really happens because it's just like the properties of the crystal. With this, if you drop it, it explodes. It doesn't explode very much, but aether crystal can store a lot unstably.
I'm gonna hand the little makeshift bomb to Rofi to play with.
It's a very little boom, but you might be able to use it to make a bigger boom.
Ooh, I have ideas.
That seems very safe.
You just like you go in business. You hear.
Moving.
Just bang on the ceiling.
Yeah.
Keep it down up there, Reginald. Staring at me weird still.
I'll also show Raka the rudimentary crystals.
Ooh. Fascinating. By the way, I've been meaning to give you this, and I hand you a 50 gold piece gem. I've had on my person for quite a while and just haven't done anything with. It was meant to be for you from like a while ago, and I just didn't ever take it out of my inventory and give it to you. So, here's that.
Thank you so much.
Oh, you're very welcome.
I'm just gonna pretend like I bought it when I went out, because I don't remember when I bought it, but I bought it, and then I didn't do anything with it.
It's
Something.
It was listed as a fancy gem.
fancy gem.
Yes.
Is it in fact fancy, Ollie?
I imagine he would have bought, it's a pretty cut, pretty colors. Your usual soul gem.
The light.
What's that?
I would have very specifically picked one that did the kaleidoscope thing with the light.
Yes, exactly right. Usually you have a soul gem guy, and they're all this kind of roundish, but it's not perfectly round. I drew them. They're kind of like a rupee shape, right? They're kind of a bluish color, and it's clearly there's a technique to it to make them the best. When you get the bigger ones, sometimes they're just bigger, sometimes they're different, and it doesn't super matter, but it does from like a roleplay perspective, So this is just, super good, super cool, super nice.
It's beautiful. Thank you very much.
Special.
You're welcome. And for some reason, I feel like I was just hearing an opera singer in the background somewhere. And
It's Reginald! The
If he is
fish.
that would
If
make me very
only you could speak fish.
I can speak Sylvan. Does that count?
That is not the language of fish.
Are you sure?
I feel like he probably at least understands Sylvan. Come on. I think he understands.
While it may seem very fey up there, the forces at play
Not that.
are different.
Okay, I'll allow it.
I'm gonna start investing spells into Reginald.
Oh no!
Oh, no.
The eyes on that fish just get wider.
Yeah,
and wider.
I think when we wrote Investure, there's no limit. Does it have to be a humanoid?
I don't know.
No.
Hold on.
I don't think so.
Oh,
Which
no.
means it can be fish.
One willing
Humanoid! No fish spell
Humanoid by
casting
heart.
yet.
Probably no more for Rakath either, because he's a monstrosity.
He's a giant.
He is a giant. That's true.
Technically, if you wanna play that game.
Technically speaking, he is a half-breed, which is worse. Just he's half giant and half who knows what. Probably Gilwyn
Of
knows what.
something that had a hard time.
You think it was that way? I think it might have been the other way.
No matter which way,
A very adventurous night, and
things
Someone ended
aren't
up-
meant to work that way.
Yeah,
Some could say Rakath the miracle.
some could say, others should not.
And, considering we're already tangenting like hell,
Yeah.
as we're in a good space to pause, so you can organize some more of the guild next time and some as it stuff, do some work. This is a great place for us to say goodbye for the evening, but before we say goodbye, this is not your beautiful house. This is not your beautiful wife. We can talk a little bit about who we are and why we are and what we do. And just, get a little warm down. You ever do that? I remember in the school, it's like, you got the warm up and you got the warm down at the end. I don't know if that's actually like science, but
Cool down is usually what we were.
that would make more sense, wouldn't it?
We're also Canadian, so I think that's why. But,
Yeah, we also did cool down.
No, it was a warm down. Yeah,
Weird.
is
super
weird.
I would understand that from Australia, but England, I don't know.
Fair.
Yeah.
It's been pretty hot recently. I wonder why. Anyway.
Global warming. For those who aren't following it,
What?
global warming.
What? How dare you be political on my stream?
I always am.
Trying to unionize.
I'm literally trying to
Your plot right now is trying to unionize, yeah, to be fair.
and also trying to literally
And
stop
it's the biggest plot you've had for a while.
Look, we're trying to stop Narashiro from falling apart from a political standpoint. We're trying to be diplomats to other races at this point. We're also trying to unionize the Black Mark Guild. All we do is be political, Ollie.
Like I said, we've turned into Narashiro Knights, a Game of Thrones.
Look, it's
Not yet.
not yet. There's not as much
Getting
incest.
there.
There's time. But also, we do political things, but also, we are experiencing cavern warming right now. The rainy season is coming a little sooner. And, it's just good to keep in mind that we all, as a race and as a peoples, should recycle. And take care of our cavern, lest the cavern take care of us in a most violent way.
Speaking of... Aaron, who are you? How are you? What's up?
I'm good. I wasn't planning on going first because Josiah's gone.
Usually you're not first, but there's a big empty space over here. In real life as well. Wouldn't it be great if I just pulled Josiah in from off frame? He was just
I'm more
here the
likely to
whole
be
time.
He actually might be in town next weekend, potentially.
Gonna have a little pal
Oh,
down.
very cool.
So,
brunch.
in theory, potentially, if I can convince him to, I'd like him to come over for the Sunday and be on the Sunday show with us, just sitting in the same frame. It'd be real.
Thanks,
buddy.
I hate it.
Adorable.
I can also zoom my camera out so you could actually see both of us, but
So, I am Aaron, and that's all. Have a good week, guys.
Tesh!
Hi, I'm Tesh of the Tesh Tube on YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. Follow me on Twitter for cute animal gifs, and follow me on Twitch for Minecraft at the moment. A lot of Minecraft. I am more than a little addicted to Minecraft.
It's also a fun game to stream, although... I'll warn you, Minecraft community on Twitch, they got a personality.
Luckily, I have only encountered one of those people so far.
I remember having like a, why are you building with that? I was like, so I like it. Why,
Yeah.
One of those
why is
streams
that
that you were
not?
doing.
Yeah.
There's a reason why I don't build on stream.
not today, and we block.
All I do in Minecraft is build.
Now, I build off stream, and then I do boss battles and exploring on stream.
That's fair.
Fair. Yeah. But what I do off stream is William. Too
Anyways,
easy. No points.
hi, I'm Will. You can find me over at similarly on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube at Will and Graham. But my stuff, not a ton going on right now. Got some cool stuff coming down the pipeline. Can't talk about it. There's some stuff that officially we'll be able to talk about soon, but I can't talk about yet. Actually, probably in the next couple months here, we're going to have a lot more information coming at you very quick, but little tidbits here and there over the next month probably. Have to discuss with folks. But for me right now, what I will say is the coolest thing going on for me is that I just actually watched Josiah's video on his latest monster upload for Monster of the Week. You can find that over at youtube.com/DungeonDad, where he talks about, I don't even remember what the fuck they're called, but they're these creepy little bug monsters that are definitely not bugs, but carry a dagger and look... Anyway, they're fun transformations. They become people, and then like all of a sudden they're this giant cult monster thing. It's horrible and horrifying, and it gives me nightmares. So I highly recommend you go over to his YouTube channel and check it out, because it will give you nightmares, and it will also give your players nightmares if you're into that kind of thing. Which
I am. I had someone turn into a mind flayer in front of you and described it in great detail. In this game, I do the body horror. In the Wednesday game, I do the genuine horror, and in the Monday game I do the slightly, lewd descriptions. I'm not saying everything, but you can read between the lines. Described some giant monsters recently, and you can read between the lines.
Giant monster.
I got a giant monster for you right here. Hey, twitch.tv/olirant. We do the best pizza in town. Anyway. Hey, you're already here. I do a whole lot more. There's this show on Sundays. There is the sister show, A Mother's Love, on Wednesdays. They both directly link each other. This show is supported by Patreon. $5 or more a month, you get access to the Monday show. That's the lewd one. It's also a more traditional D&D, which is why it's the lewd one, FYI. Because everyone plays D&D to get lewd. Don't deny it. And we're not playing D&D all are next week. My Patreon is the only place I'm going to have any new D&D. There will be some bonus streams where I'm currently turning Pokemon into D&D monsters, reimagining them completely. It's a great project. It's a great time if you like me doing art, if you like just chatting about Pokemon, and if you like learning about D&D homebrew, it's a good time to ask me questions. I usually won't come up with the answers without you asking me a question. If you ask, oh, why are you doing that? I will happily explain. I also, non-suspiciously, have big stuff coming up that I can't talk about, but maybe in the next months, there might be something to talk about. I don't know. We'll see. But big stuff's going on. Big stuff. But I'm going to spend the next week hanging out with my family, and that's pretty cool. Because my niece and nephew discovered Mario Party, and they love it. So that's my week. So I'm going to bid you all a goodbye. Get out of here.
So long, farewell. Auf Wiedersehen, goodbye, goodbye.